Graphics can play an important role in your InDesign project. InDesign can import a wide range of graphic file formats, from JPEG and native Photoshop or PSD files, to Adobe Illustrator files, as well as PDFs and more. In this newsletter design, you'll place several graphics using different methods. You can open this file from the practice file for this tutorial if you want to follow along. Graphics you add to an InDesign document need to be in the frame. You can create placeholder frames that you can add the image to later, or InDesign can create the frame for you as you place or import a graphic file. To start, you will create a placeholder frame. Then you will place a graphic in it. In this tool panel here, press and hold on the rectangle frame tool to see other types of frame shapes that you can create. Select the rectangle frame tool. In the document, you will draw a frame. So starting on the left edge of the column at the top, click and drag and draw a frame that spans both of these columns. When you get to the edge of the column on the right, a small arrow will appear next to the pointer. That means that frame will snap to the column. When it snaps, release the mouse button to create the frame. With the frame selected, you can now place a graphic in it. To do that, choose File, Place. The Place command is used to import graphic files, text files, and more. In the Place dialog box, navigate to the downloadable practice files for this tutorial. In the Links folder, select the image named Jellyfish JPEG. On Mac, you might need to click the Option button to reveal more options. On both Mac and Windows, make sure that the Show Import Options is not selected. You can change options about the graphics as you place it, but we don't need to do that right now. Click Open. The image is placed in a frame at 100% of this original size. So if an image is larger than the frame, some of it may be hidden. If the image was smaller than the frame, it wouldn't fill the frame. You'll learn more about resizing and fitting images to frames in the video in this tutorial on moving, resizing, and fitting graphics. Next, you have InDesign create a frame for you, and also place an image into the existing frame you see down here. When you place a graphic, if a frame is selected, the graphic in the selected frame will be replaced by default. Now we want to avoid that in this case. So choose Exit. Deselect all to deselect the image. You can also place multiple graphics, which can save your time. You do that next for these two graphics. You can either choose File, Place, like you just did, or click the Import File button in the Properties panel. So click the Import File button. In the Place dialog box that opens, navigate to the downloadable practice file for this tutorial. And in the Links folder, select the image name Sea Lion JPEG. To select another image, press the Shift key and click to select the image name Sea Turtle JPEG as well. Then click Open. Since no frame was selected, you should see the loaded graphic cursor now. And you also should see a thumbnail of one of the images. And a number telling you how many graphics you are placing. If you press the right or left arrow key on your keyboard, you can cycle through the images. When you see the image of the turtle, this one, move the pointer into the third column over here. Press and drag to create the frame. As you drag and place the image, you'll notice that the frame is drawn in the same proportion as the image. In other words, the width and the height of the frame change proportionally. Release the mouse button to place the graphic. When you've placed a graphic this way, you're essentially scaling or resizing it as you place it. Now, there's one graphic left to place in the loaded graphics cursor. The frame you see down here has an X in it, which means it was created with the frame tool. And it's most likely to a placeholder for a graphic. To place the image in the frame, move the pointer over the frame. When the loaded graphic cursor changes, you should see a parenthesis now. Click to place the image in the frame at the original size. Now that you know how to place graphic files in Adobe InDesign, start exploring the different methods you've just learned. You can begin by adding different types of graphic files to your own projects.